My name is Ronnie Michael, Certified Public Accountant, and this is the Personal Finance Playbook. Improve your finances, improve your life. The title of today's episode is Simple But Not Easy: How to Become a Millionaire. $1 million. To many, it sounds like a fantasy reserved for tech entrepreneurs, lottery winners, or trust fund babies. But you might be shocked to find out that it is more achievable than you might believe. No, I'm not going to tell you that with hard work, you'll definitely become a millionaire. But the path is actually quite simple, though certainly not easy. But before we get into how to become a millionaire, allow me to throw some cold water on the notion of being a millionaire. Millionaires are actually more common than you might think. According to 2022 data from the Federal Reserve, 18% of households in America have a net worth, meaning assets minus liabilities, of at least $1 million. That translates to almost 24 million households. And remember, these figures are from 2022. There's probably more millionaires today just from inflation alone. Dive into the data a bit deeper, and you'll find out that more than half of these households are aged 60 or older. The majority of millionaires are retirees who have experienced the benefits of compound interest over decades, likely from a combination of real estate holdings and stock portfolios. So, what is the path to becoming a millionaire? Here it is. If you invest $405 per month and earn a 7% annual return, you'll become a millionaire after 40 years. That's it. Search for an investment calculator online and plug those numbers in. $405 a month, 7% annual return, 40 years. That will get you to $1 million. In this scenario, you will have invested about $200,000 out of pocket and earned about $800,000 in interest. Probably the most important number in this equation is the 7% annual return. And you may be wondering, where does it come from? It comes from the historical performance of the US stock market between 1872 and 2024, after adjusting for inflation and with dividends reinvested. This isn't some optimistic projection. It's what the market has actually delivered for over more than 150 years through wars, recessions, depressions, and pandemics. Past performance is not a guarantee of future performance, but the 7% figure is derived from a 150-year sample size and seems as good as any to use. And of course, you can accelerate this process by investing more each month. You can invest $860 a month instead of $405, and you'd reach millionaire status in 30 years rather than 40. If you could somehow manage to invest $1,975 a month, you'd get there in 20 years. So the math behind becoming a millionaire is quite simple, but the execution obviously is not easy. You have to be consistent and you have to start early. Do you have $405 lying around every month to invest? If you're young and early in your career, it's going to be difficult. You may not earn enough to have that type of money to invest. And young people are notoriously fixated on immediate gratification: new cars, fancy vacations, expensive dinners, designer clothes. It's hard to imagine retirement 40 years out, and it's easy to tell yourself that you'll start investing someday when you make more money. Unfortunately, if you don't make investments when you're young, the math changes as you become older. To become a millionaire in just 20 years as opposed to 40 years, you need to invest nearly 4 times as much per month, about $2,000 a month versus $405. That's going to be a lot of money for most people to consistently set aside every month for investing. But there is another variable in the millionaire equation you could play around with: the annual return. Perhaps stocks hit a prolonged hot period over the next few decades and earn 15% annually. Investing $405 a month, you'd be a millionaire in about 25 years. Perhaps you invest in some other asset that goes nuclear. Bitcoin, perhaps controversially, is the best performing asset in recent memory. earning about 131% annually from 2011 to 2025. Investing $405 a month at 131% annual return would get you to millionaire status in a little over 6 years. 131% annual returns isn't something you should bank on, but hopefully playing around with the math here shines a bit more light on the path to becoming a millionaire. So to recap, becoming a millionaire is simple but not easy. It requires discipline, patience, starting early, and staying consistent over decades. But unlike most get rich quick schemes, this approach actually works. It is a mathematically proven path to building wealth that's possible for anyone with regular income and a willingness to delay gratification. What do you think? Does this apply to your life? Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.